Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo, and welcome to my scrapbook table, where I'm sharing today's layout for the Beautiful Blossoms Challenge blog, where I am a design team member. I will have a link in the description box below where you can visit that and see the challenge. I'm using this material from Vicki Boutin's print shop collection, and I've already put these 4 photos on a white mat and trimmed out this piece of paper that I'm going to create a shelf from. I seem to be doing that a lot lately. And I have a ton of ephemera from this collection, so I went through it. Some of them are the real thin pieces, which I really like because they don't add bulk when you layer them up. And I have a few stickers I'm going to use and some of the die cuts as well. And here I've pretty much chosen what's going to be the basis of my clusters. And I'm going to glue the shelf down first. Then I realized I didn't want so much glue there because I know I'm going to be tucking things underneath. So I grabbed my T-square ruler so that I can get this adhered relatively straight. And then I realized I had a little too high, but there we go. The green cardstock is from Basil. I don't know where the black is from. I don't love this black cardstock. It's kind of, I don't know, it has a weird texture to it. I don't have a lot of it. I'm trying to use it up because I just don't care for it and I want to be done with it. The stickers you see on the left there are from another old Vicki Boutin collection that I have, but the colors coordinate well, so I pulled those in too. I have this like foam chipboard kind of. It's the scrap left from where I took out ephemera, and I'm going to use it to bump up this whole mat of photos. So I just trimmed it down, filled in some of the bigger gaps, and that gives me some nice dimension on my page and gives me room to tuck things beneath the corners, which is where I'm going to build my clusters. So the basis for that top cluster is going to be the tag that you see there, and then I'm adding this large flower and one of the leaves from the collection. I was also going to tuck this whole thing in there, but it's too big, so I end up just adding a little bit. You don't see much of it in the end, but that's okay. That kind of happens sometimes when you build clusters. And as I look at the finished page, yeah, you do see it a little bit. So there, now I have the flower and the leaf in there. And I think, yeah, I look through the big sticker sheet. Then I have this smaller sticker book too. I bought this whole collection at a reduced price from Peachy Cheap, I believe it was. That's usually the time that I buy an entire collection. And I really like having all of this to play with. There are different color schemes you could go with from here. I chose the peaches and the teals. There's also a golden yellow in there and kind of a darker blue. I do add a tiny bit of the blue because it's part of the teal in some of the ephemera that I have. So now I'm building the bottom right cluster. And I cut that leaf in half, and then I trim the scrap that's left behind so that it looks more like the tip of a leaf as opposed to like the bottom stem part of a leaf. I probably could have just left it as it was, but I'm tucking that in there again. And I do the same thing here. Just trim this leaf a little bit to look more like the end of a leaf. And I do opt to tuck it down toward the bottom. Now I'm taking apart this whole sticker pack. I think there's about 8 or 10 sheets of stickers in this pack. I end up using the Inspire and the word create that's in gold on there to create my title. And you'll see in a minute that I change a little bit about my title, but that's what the title is going to be, create and inspire. And I tucked a little Tim Holtz word sticker and in there, but I go ahead and change that because I had this blue piece or teal piece at the bottom of the photos, and I decided I wanted to put the same thing toward the top so that it looks like there's a piece of that teal paper going down through beneath the photo block. And so now I put the Inspire on top of that, and I really wanted an ampersand and not the word and I didn't know if I had anything right. I tried a couple different ones, and then I remembered I have these Simple Stories alphabet booklets, and one of those was the right color. It's a peachy color. So since there's blue in that title, I decide to add this blue sticker. And I bump part of it up just because of where it's going to be tucked. That way it sits mostly level. And I'm just using up some more of that scrap chipboard to back part of this with so that it sits nicely in that top cluster. I had to fiddle with it quite a bit. I'm not sure why. There we go. And there is some purple in that title, and I opted just to pretend there wasn't. I'm ignoring the purple. I do not want to add purple to the layout, so I really wish that R were a different color, but that's okay. And I cut that pretty blue flower in half, tucked part in the top cluster, and now I'm putting some in the bottom cluster. I really like how the clusters turned out on here, and I think it's because I have plenty of ephemera and stickers and such to choose from that I can just keep layering and layering until I have it the way I want it. And so this flower, I end up having to cut a little bit off the bottom of it to get it to tuck in there the way I want. And underneath that lowest flower, I put some leaves, and some of these leaves I ended up, in some of the flower petals, adding some Stampin' Dimensionals behind from Stampin' Up! To get them to have a little bit of lift. And there we go. Now I'm thinking about adding this one to the top cluster, and it was kind of bothering me that the title wasn't exactly connected to that cluster very well. So I fixed that problem by tucking this flower up there. And again, I'm going to put some little dimensionals. These are the mini ones behind the tips of the flower petals before I adhere it down. And I really like how that connects all of that together. I think it made a difference. The photos they range from taken in 2017 to taken just 2 months ago. A little girl who's not quite so little anymore, but she and I have been crafting together since she was pretty tiny. And when I went to visit them in February, I took a craft for us to do as well. And her sisters did it as well, but she and I have been crafting the longest since she's the oldest. And I'm going to do my journaling right on the black cardstock. So I use a white gel pen from my sister, and it says, "I love this girl. Spending time creating with Ava is always special. She is so good at coming up with unique ideas. It's hard to believe how much she has grown and changed in the 9 years that we have known her." And that is done. I added some white twine to the tag at the top. I really wanted gold for there, but I only have silver and copper cord. I don't have any gold, so I just went with the white, and it's fine. Then I added a few tabs from this sticker pack to add dates on. The one over here, these are the photos that were taken in early 2017, where she and I were painting. And then toward the bottom, there's already a little space on a tag there. That picture was from 2022. And then I looked through there again and I found one to put on the last photo, which was February of 2024. Now I want to add some more gold because there's some gold in the lettering. And so I've pulled out my Liquitex gold, and I'm not good at splattering with this particular one, so I just grabbed this little thing with a round ball on the end of it and used it to make gold dots around the layout, and I really like how that turned out. The still shots are coming up. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.